Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Revisited. I'm Nai, and we are currently in Mount Kazai, trying to hunt down the Maga Sphere, which is somewhere in the general vicinity. It is going to be a moonstone crystal of some sort, probably blue, and a roundish sort of color. Yes, roundish color, because that is a color, right? In a round shape, so that's what we're hunting down. I did completely ignore one of the branching paths back there. Rest assured, I will go back to it as we exit this area. But first, we have to go hit another switch, and it's going to be way down this path. Going onwards, long path to go down, very linear though, not something we have to worry too much about, and hey look, there's the switch. Very loopy place. I guess it's kind of my biggest complaint about Mount Kazai. If I had to say any one thing that annoys me about this place, it's very specifically that it's a lot of walking. I don't want to use the word padding, because it's not a good word to use for something like this, because there's basically content, there's switches to hit, there's stuff to do, stuff to explore. But yeah, it just feels, Mount Kazai, after a while, just kind of feels very... It's linear, so there's not a lot of exploration. Like, a lot of the time you spend in Mount Kazai has nothing to do with how big the place is. Because the dungeon's pretty big, actually. But it has nothing to do with how big the place is or anything. It mostly has to do with slow movement throughout the water sections, transitions from water section to water section. And then, you know, there's a lot of walking. Not doing anything. Just walking. Like I'm doing right now. Okay, so we've got most of our characters, at least two characters have Incremus, which is fantastic, because it's something we need. And two characters have Sakurulin. Okay, we have had quite enough of the random encounters lately. We're highly leveled, so I don't have to worry about this. So we're just going to go ahead and put on the white map. And then we did just get the moon robe, which I think I'm going to toss onto Fina. Nah, never mind. Never mind, I was thinking about it, because it's a rare drop that we just got, but it's not worth it. So white map is going to give us reduced enemy spawns. That comes with the downside of reduced money and reduced experience. But right now we are at least caught up in level, if not over-leveled. It is so easy to be over-leveled in this game. So we're fine when it comes to level. The money thing could be a bit of an issue. But, it's an RPG. You don't have to go to every single shop along the way. And in fact, I think, if I remember correctly, in the last time I ran Skies, I think someone even commented that I was buying too much too often. So, you know, that's always a thing. So we don't have to worry about that much. And having less random encounters right now is going to mean that I'm going to get a little bit less annoyed at the game for just sitting there and making me redo these areas over and over and over. Okay, so very important spot here. There's this rope here, and a lot of people will ignore this rope, especially if they don't know what it is. It is a quick escape to get back to the beginning of the level. Very, very important thing. and most people will accurately see that it's a way just to get back up, and they'll completely ignore it. The thing is, at the top of this rope is a moonfish just sitting right here. Is the only way to get that moonfish is to go to the top of that rope. But as I said, a lot of people will just completely ignore it because they think it is what it really is. It's a quick route back to the top because there's no way to go right back up that watery path. So don't do that. Don't be that guy. Okay, let's continue going down. We're going to have another branching set of paths. I believe I have to go forward this time. And there's a treasure chest. I want that. It's my Moonberry. Do I have enough Moonberries to give Enrique his final? Have I given him his final yet? No, not magic. Super move. Thank you. Yes, we can give him his final. So his final ability is called the Judgment. It's a fairly strong ability, but by the time you get that much SP, unless Enrique's the only one left alive, you're going to be either... There's my Cham right there, so right here. By the time you get that much SP, you're either going to be using Cutlass or Pirate's Wrath, you're going to be saving up, or you're just going to use Prophecy. Okay, I know that was a big mob and all, but it is kind of rare that a Rain of Swords does not kill everyone. Okay. So we're doing pretty well. A lot of people have most of their spells, which is great. Okay. Fun little thing right now. Notice these two golems there? Anytime you pass between the two golems, they act kind of like the tiki mobs from the Temple of Pirin. If you go, just like those were triggered mobs, these guys are too. If you happen to pass nearby, or between, a set of the Aluspheres here, they will attack you. This actually gets a really cool effect later on. There's going to be a hallway with just a series of Aluspheres standing down. And if you choose to go through that hallway, every single time you pass between the two Aluspheres, you will encounter a set of Aluspheres, and you will have to do your fight. And then when you beat the Aluspheres, they will no longer be on the wall. Very, very cool effect. I really appreciate it. The problem with the Aluspheres, though, is that they do petrify. It is an additional effect on cast. Or not on cast, but on contact. We just lost Vice and Enrique to it. This is really, really bad. Because remember, if all allies get petrified, it's game over. It counts as a game over. They're considered to be dead. Luckily, they do continue to drop their SP every turn. So that's a good thing. It means that, you will still get SP, so if you have to do something like, say, Lunar Cleansing, which I just did, or something to that effect, you will get to keep going. Still could be a major problem, especially if they keep on landing it like they are now. Obnoxious. Luckily, they can only, petrify two guys at once. Another amazing thing is that last battle, we did have a level up off of someone. I'm not sure, I don't remember who it was, so I wasn't paying that close of attention. But the practical upshot of this is that we are now gaining enough SP each turn that every 2 turns, we will be able to do a Pirate's Wrath. So that's pretty good stuff. Notice the Aluspheres, they are literally landing the petrification effect twice every turn. That's stupid. That is stupid nuts. What is the rate on that? This is why I don't like fighting the Aluspheres, because they're very, very dangerous. There's one of the early bosses, see, there it goes again. One of the early bosses, the magma boss from, once again, the Temple of Pirin, he does the same thing, and it's a boss level strategy. So the fact that these guys are able to land this so consistently,
That wasn't so bad.
it's just outright stupid. It is nuts that they are getting that down. As I said, that's why I don't like fighting these guys at all, because they're dangerous. You can easily die to the Aluspheres. So I get a choice here. I can either I could either go this way, go through this door, and this will give me this room, which contains 4 Allosphere fights. I'm obviously not going to do that, because 4 Allosphere fights is probably going to get me killed. We're going to have to deal with petrification. It's this whole big deal. However, if I go over here, and I stand on this platform, and hit this switch, I can fill this room up with water. Well, first I'll drain it, I'll fill it up with water, in another way. And doing it this way, let's see, I think there's a treasure chest that I'm missing at some point. You know, I think I forgot a treasure chest back there. It's okay, we'll find it. If I remember correctly, it was from one of the earlier areas, and I kind of just completely missed it. Notice that the animation here started with the box on the middle level, with the water partially filled already. It's because you were... What am I doing? Where am I going? It's because the game kind of intended for you to be able to do this from any level, and they didn't want to do animations from every level. Okay. And now, we are in this room, above all of the aura spheres down there. Or whatever they're called. I've already forgotten what they're called. They're a one-time enemy, they only ever show up in this place, and I skip 90% of them. 80% of them, sorry. There's only 5 sets of them, and I skipped 4 of them. So I tend to skip those. But you get to go this way, and because I skipped 4 sets of those, I get to save myself some time and energy. Now, you know, there is the one downside here, is that I skipped 4 sets of experience, but I think it's well worth not having to deal with those pains in the asses. And that's actually specifically meant just for that, just to give you that skip. I'm not skipping anything else, I'm not going any further forward than I would have otherwise. The door I would have entered through is that door right there, and in fact, if you... No, damn it. This platform has hit detection that fighting fans would either love to fight against or hate to play. It's amazing. The hitbox on this thing to know that you're stepping onto the platform is huge. I think there's platforms earlier in the game that I was having trouble getting on, and this one is just like, oh, you're nowhere near me. Would you like to get on this platform? But no, if you actually go back here to this door, you get a fight. Finally, we get to go look at what I was intending to look at, which was just simply that if you try to engage with this door, Vice comments that the room on the other side of the door is full of water and that we can't do anything to it. And that's it. That's all I wanted to do. I spent like 2 minutes trying to just show that. Okay, so we go through this room, and this door. We go through this passageway here, and down this ramp, and then we eventually find ourselves in this absolutely gigantic room, which is obviously the center of the volcano. We get given the very suspicious save spot, which of course means that there is going to be a fight here. And I'm actually going to give myself a second save point here. Going to overwrite that old file that I don't care about. But second save point just to let me refight this boss and actually do a little bit of research concerning whether Pirate's Wrath is as fast as Prophecy. So hopefully I'll have that answer by next episode. And we're going to go ahead and run down here. So we got this big and shining circle, this seal here, which obviously means that this is where we're going to find the Magosphere. Big, very holy looking place. Get to run forwards, but of course, as I said, very suspicious looking save point. We know that means there's going to be a boss fight. So here we go, and as we go find in here, we'll find this big flying turtle thing. I never figured out what this is supposed to be, because it doesn't even freaking fit. It's a gigantic steel turtle. That's really what it is. It's a gigantic steel turtle. This kind of floats here. It's obnoxious. It really is. I don't know what this thing's supposed to do. Yes, I can see it. It's a steel turtle. I don't need you to go around like that. So we're just going to go Glyph of Might up, and we're just going to do the normal prophecy. And we're going to see how long it takes. So this is turn 1, to get the most damage possible. Now, it's a good thing that I didn't actually attack this turn, because when he does Steel Skin, I literally cannot damage him. If you've ever played a game like Final Fantasy or something like that, it's the same as Stone Skin. You literally cannot damage him in this mode, and it's one of the most obnoxious things about this boss. There's very little about this boss that's particularly stupid, but that's one of them, which is the fact that he can just Stone Skin up and takes no damage during that turn.
Let's try this.
Now, something interesting I haven't shown off yet, because I simply haven't gotten the ability. Aika has the Stone Skin ability. It's one of the skills that she has that you can use, which for one turn will make her basically invulnerable to all damage. It's not particularly useful, to be honest. It only lasts for one turn, the turn she uses it on. And the fact that you used it means that you're... Do I have access to it? No. The fact that you used it means that you're not doing anything else. Like, you're not delta shielding, you're not attacking, you're not healing. You used it. So you can't really use it when she's the last one alive to keep her alive so that way next turn she can heal up. You can't use it for much of anything. And there's not a lot of moves in this game where there's going to be a 1-2 punch that you will have a chance to see it going, to see it coming, and then block it. Every so often there is someone. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is, hey look, Enrique got stoned. And so because of that, I can't use Prophecy right now. I have to cleanse him before I'm allowed to do anything. So you can go ahead and attack him. I don't even know why this guy has that ability. You know what? Just, where is it? I'm going to... I want to... no! Crap. That was my fault. I want to ignore that turn. So we're talking about like a 4-turn prophecy here is what we're looking at.
Here goes.
So the question is, could I deal enough damage? See, there's the immunity to damage I was talking about. But notice how it only lasts this one turn. I should have just used Glitter Cleansing and been done with it, shouldn't I? I was thinking about doing it even. You saw me do it. But I just decided not to do it. But yeah, this guy he does that, and so it's this obnoxious... So I can Blue Rogues, which I've never shown you guys, and I'm not going to do it now. But I can't Prophecy because Enrique is currently stoned. Which sounds really funny, just off the top of my head. And unfortunately, because he got stoned, all of his buffs go away, because it's essentially a death. So he loses his Glyph of Might, he loses his Glyph of Speed. It's so stupid. It really is. Now, on this critical hit for 0. On this particular fight, Prophecy does have a distinctly good point to it. And that good point is that the turtle can't... It can't Stone Skin. It cannot do it. So I don't have to worry about trying to fire off Pirate's Wrath that takes up 21 SP, but doesn't land. I don't have to worry about that, because I know Prophecy is a super priority move, nothing can go before it, and it takes up the entire turn, so the turtle can't do anything afterwards. So that's the big plus side to it. Did this kill it in one hit? Nope. I don't know how. Okay. So that's Prophecy. That was one Prophecy. I may have to do it again. And in that case, I'll actually show you what... I may actually show you what Blue Rogues does. But let's go look to see what type of damage that a Pirate's Wrath would do. Because Prophecy did 4,000 damage. So let's go see what Pirate's Wrath would do. Remember, for Prophecy, I must fill up the bar. Ice Storm is basically the other ability that he has. It's AoE damage, ice-based. If you have defense against blue magic, it'll help here. Okay, let's fire a Pirate's Wrath off at him. And otherwise, I'm also going to drop a Sacrum Crystal, but otherwise we're just going to focus, so I have... God, see? This right here. This is why Pirate's Wrath is not preferable to Prophecy. Because now I'm going to fire off a Pirate's Wrath, and it's going to do absolutely no damage to him. So that was one of the few reasons why Prophecy is going to beat Pirate's Wrath in my eyes. But I'm kind of a believer in Pirate's Wrath. We still got to see how much damage one will actually do when it's fired off. And unless this guy's gonna let up on his freaking Steel Skin. Steel Skin's also a priority move, by the way. It's gonna happen before anything I do, no matter how fast I am. Which is obnoxious. Okay. Pirate's Wrath. Okay, let's see what this does. So Pirate's Wrath did 3,303 damage, and it took about half the SP of Prophecy. So it's something to think about. Prophecy is not necessarily better than Pirate's Wrath in every case. It sometimes will be. But remember, it's going to take twice the amount of turns, on average, to fire off a Prophecy versus a Pirate's Wrath. So, you know, I could probably beat this a lot faster using exclusively Pirate's Wrath. The only downside is, you know, once again, Stone Skin. If Stone Skin fires off, all of a sudden my Pirate's Wrath is not worth anything. Which, you know, it did. It was amazing. It was stupid. But yeah, I would have already killed him if that was the case. So what I'm now going to do, because this guy has so little health, and because I believe I should be able to kill him with one more fire, I'm actually going to fire off Blue Rogues. Blue Rogues is the other party-wide attack that I have. Unlike Prophecy, it can be fired off as long as I have, I think it's just as long as I have at least one of the Blue Rogues active. If any one of my party is going, then we can do it. The cool thing about Blue Rogues is that it actually does keep in mind what crew I actually have active. It only counts the active crew members. And every single active crew member adds something to the attack. I hate to say that I don't know actually what each one does, but each one does have their own individual animation. They do something. Marcos was a booger at this thing. And they also add some sort of effect to the fight. Mostly just some do damage and some give health back to the allies. I believe it also counts as a... I believe it also just simply counts as a priority attack. Must go first. I think it also takes up the entire turn. I believe this one's going to end up full healing our entire party, plus doing kind of massive damage to the opponent. About 3,000 damage. It's not bad. It's not Prophecy. But it did give a fair amount of healing to the allies, and did do some damage to the creature. And keep in mind, I do not have... I think I'm missing one or two... I'm at least missing one or two crew member slots. So that was not even a full power Blue Rogues either. So I don't even have to do this twice. We kind of saw... We saw Prophecy versus Pirate's Wrath. So, an Aka got Incremus, and there's the Moonlight Robe. So, yeah. And that's really, I'm going to give that to Fina. That's really all I have to say on that matter. So it looks, so Prophecy is really, really good. And among many opponents, it will be better than Pirate's Wrath. But Pirate's Wrath does do about 2/3 the damage of Prophecy. It fires off in half the time. So here's the Magosphere. We finally found it. There it is. Wasn't stolen from us like it was in the Lands of the Green Moon. So yeah, depending on the opponent, you might want to do a Pirate's Wrath as opposed to holding out for a full Prophecy. It's time to celebrate in the dance here. And we get to include Fina in this one. So Enrique is left completely in the cold as the three of them do their little high-five dance. Fina has no idea what to do, and just, you know, don't worry about it, just give it a try. I'm too lame to even try something like that, and people try to do that with me at work all the time. So we have the Blue Moon Crystal. Okay, we gotta do one last thing before we finish up. We're automatically teleported outside, but I did miss I missed a treasure chest. I'm extremely embarrassed that I missed it, but I did. So we need to go get it. But yeah, so I'm not sure necessarily under which circumstances on which bosses that I'd probably want to do Pirate's Wrath first. I'm thinking stuff like, you know, most bosses really, depending. I think a multi-part boss, let's say, the Ixness Demons, for example, or Loose Cannon Lapin when he has the Frox up. Those are the bosses that you want to use Prophecy on. But when it's a single boss, let's say Loose Cannon Lapin by himself, or the Angel of Death once the dog has been taken care of, those are the dogs that it's going to be safe for you to Pirate's Wrath. Okay. So over here, this is where the final item was that was hiding. If you look on the mini-map, it's actually right beneath me. There's a small little tunnel that I completely forgot about. I don't know how, but I completely forgot about it. Kind of hides over here, so you can't even really use the mini-map. You kind of gotta... You're supposed to hit it up as you leave this area, and I just completely slipped my mind. Forgot about it. It's the only other item in this area, too. So, yeah. Just go right up here, up this ramp, and we're good to go. No. Up this ramp and around this corner, I guess, right? Yeah. I feel horrible. Come on, game. See, the hitbox on this ramp is terrible. The hitbox on that platform, amazing. So there's my Windsong orb. For some reason, I'm supposed to fight a Zivlin Bane for that, I think. Huh. Weird. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. I will see myself out, and I will see you guys next time as we return to Yafutoma. Later.